Okay, picture this. You're standing on a beach, pure white sand, but looks like the tropics, right? But then you look up, and instead of palm trees, you see these jagged, snow dusted peaks rising up. The air's crisp, the water is this crazy turquoise color, and the sun, well, it doesn't really set, it just kind of hangs there. That's Sammaroy, Norway. Welcome you to what feels like the Arctic's best kept secret, maybe? It's a place that really feels timeless. So today, we're doing a deep dive into Sammaroy. We've got a bunch of sources, travel articles, blogs, some local accounts too. And our goal really is to give you the inside track, a shortcut to knowing this amazing hidden spot, pulling out the facts, yeah, but also those little surprising things that make you go, ah, that's why it's special.
It really is fascinating, Sammaroy, or Summary, as you'll often see it spelled, how it's stayed sort of under the radar in, well, a world that feels pretty thoroughly explored now. It's this peaceful archipelago, maybe an hour's drive southwest from Tromsø, give or take. And it offers something really different, a genuine alternative to the busier spots in Norway, like the big fjords, or even Lofoten, which gets a lot of visitors. Just 300 people live there. It feels preserved. A mix of just raw nature and this really rich living culture, almost like they want to keep it that way.
Right. Preservation by design, maybe. So that's
Yeah.
our mission today. Uncover Sammaroy's treasures. We're talking hiking trails, the food, which sounds amazing, the festivals, those legendary sunsets. By the end of this, you'll know why it should probably be on your travel list, and even more importantly, how to experience it right. That first impression when you get there, the charm, it's instant, isn't it? It really is like stepping into some kind of forgotten Arctic postcard. The air smells different, salt and maybe snow. And the light. The light does weird, wonderful things.
Absolutely. And if you look at the map, the geography is key to that feeling. The islands are linked by these really quite elegant bridges to the bigger island, Kvaløya. And those white sand beaches you mentioned, they're not just pretty, they genuinely could be mistaken for tropical ones. But here's the kicker. They're actually warmed, surprisingly so, by a branch of the Gulf Stream.
Get out! The Gulf Stream reaches that far north.
It does, yeah. A branch of it snakes up there. And this creates this sort of microclimate, this biodiversity you wouldn't expect at this latitude. It makes the beaches usable, inviting even. It's kind of wild when you see the rugged cliffs right there and those distant blue mountains of Senja across the water. What a contrast.
It really is. And speaking of dramatic views, there's Hoja, right?
Yeah.
That cliff.
Oh, Hoja, yes. Photographers love it. It's this 486-meter cliff just jutting straight out of the sea. And the uncanny thing is, it looks remarkably like the Arctic Cathedral in Tromsø, that sharp, triangular shape. Imagine capturing that with the midnight sun behind it, or the northern lights.
Yeah, I can picture that. Incredible.
It's elements like that, like Hoja, that make it feel so unique. And it brings up that question, why isn't it swamped with tourists? Well, unlike those crowded hubs, the tiny population, just 300 people, that guarantees a certain peace, doesn't it? An untouched feel. The fishing villages are still very active. Herring processing is huge, a big part of Norway's economy, actually. But it's the heart of the island. And this preservation, it feels intentional. They seem to encourage sustainable, low-impact tourism. So visitors can connect with the landscape, yes, but also with the people. It keeps the island's character intact.
Okay, so for anyone who loves getting outdoors and after hearing that description, who wouldn't? The hiking sounds like a must-do. Accessible, you said, but with views that are just, wow. Where would you start if you were new there?
Yeah, the hiking is fantastic, and there's a good range. For a great introduction, I'd say the Unveiled hike. It's a short climb, only 154 meters up, but honestly, it's a must-do. You get these incredible 360-degree views. You see the archipelago spread out, that elegant bridge connecting the islands, Senja's coastline in the distance. It's super close to, like a 5-minute drive from the Sammaroy Arctic Hotel. Takes about an hour round trip. Walking pretty casually, perfect for almost anyone.
That sounds ideal. A quick win with a big payoff. Any catches, even on a short hike like that, anything people should know, Arctic conditions and all that.
That's a really good point. Yeah, even short Arctic hikes need respect. Unveiled is accessible, sure, but paths can be uneven, a bit rocky. And the weather, I mean, it can turn on a dime up there. Always wear decent, sturdy footwear. And if you're there in winter, crampons are absolutely essential. Ice is no joke. If you want a bit more of a challenge, Hillisey Toppen is another great one. It's a bit higher, 214 meters. The views are maybe even more expansive, little islets, skerries, the open sea. It's apparently the spot for midnight sun viewing. And for families, or maybe gentler option, Servisaxla. 190 meters, still amazing sea views, often a bit less steep.
Okay, so timing matters, obviously. Summer hiking versus winter hiking must be completely different experiences.
Oh, totally. Summer, say late May to mid-July, you've got the midnight sun, which means, well, 24 hours of daylight. You can literally hike whenever you want. Middle of the night, no problem. Winter, though, that's aurora season. You'll need proper gear like those crampons, maybe headlamps, but imagine trekking in the snow with the northern lights dancing above you.
Wow, that's quite the image.
It is, but you have to be prepared. That's why guided options, like from Sammaroy Adventure, can be really good. They know the trails, the conditions, safety first. Plus, they often throw in hot drinks, point out wildlife. You see reindeer quite often, and those amazing white-tailed sea eagles, huge birds. Always, always check the forecast right before you go. Watch out for ice in winter, and stick to paths. It's a fragile environment, you know? Leave no trace.
Right, absolutely. Okay, let's switch gears from hiking the landscapes to, well, tasting them in a way. The food in Sammaroy, it sounds like it's all about the sea, a real showcase of Norway's maritime soul.
That sums it up perfectly.
That,
Yeah, the fishing industry is alive and well, so you get incredibly fresh herring, cod, Arctic char,
yeah.
just fantastic quality. You can find it beautifully prepared at the Somray Arctic Hotel restaurant. They really focus on local stuff. Or check out local spots like Eat Handle. It's this family-run shop, been there since 1953 apparently. A real institution selling local delicacies.
I love that, 1953, that sense of history. So, okay, what dishes should be on our must-try list? I'm thinking creamy fish soup has to be up there, right? Smoked salmon, obviously, and fish caker, those fish cakes.
Definitely all those. They're staples for a reason,
Mm.
often served simply, with maybe some good root vegetables. And for dessert, look out for anything with cloudberries. They're these unique Nordic berries, kind of tart, kind of sweet, delicious.
Cloudberries, got it. Any other sort of unique food experiences there?
Well, some tour operators, like Arctic Road Trip, do these cool beach picnics. Imagine eating fresh local seafood right there on one of those white beaches. And you might find Sami-inspired dishes too, like reindeer stew. Adds another layer to the local flavor profile. Oh, and for something completely unexpected, there's apparently the world's northernmost rhubarb winery nearby. You can visit it if you take the scenic Low Road from Tromsø. Rhubarb wine.
Rhubarb wine, okay, that is unexpected. And that connection to heritage, the Sami influence you mentioned, it seems to run deep there, beyond just food. The festivals sound like a big part of that.
They really are. Especially the summer events, under the midnight sun, it's just buzzing. Live music, traditional dancing, big seafood feasts. It brings everyone together, locals and visitors. You see the vibrant Sami clothing, hear traditional joik singing, maybe mixed with folk music, smell the fish grilling. It's very atmospheric. And there are often opportunities to learn about Sami crafts, hear stories, maybe even see reindeer herding demonstrations. A lot of it happens in the Royal Park, Congo Park, and there's even a stone marking a visit by the King and Queen back in '92. It feels like a real community celebration.
And winter, what happens then?
Winter gatherings are often a bit quieter, maybe centered around the northern lights. People might gather at the local Baptist church or maybe the Hilleside Husflidslag, that's a handicraft shop. You can find amazing handmade woolens there, real local crafts.
So checking festival schedules is key then. Where do you find that info?
Visit Tromsø's is usually the best bet for schedules. And check opening times for places like the Lovhagen Bygde Museum, the preserved 1890s fisherman's home. It's worth seeing, but hours can vary. Really engaging with those events, talking to people, it supports the community directly, you know. It helps keep those traditions alive.
Absolutely. Okay, we have to talk about the sunsets, or I guess the non-sunsets sometimes. You said no visit is complete without seeing the sky from those cliffs. It sounds epic.
It really is something else. The light there behaves differently.
You think?
You've got two main phenomena. First, the midnight sun, late May to mid-July. The sun just dips toward the horizon, paints everything gold, but never actually sets. It just hovers, creates this surreal, endless day feeling. Then, in winter, September to April, you get the polar night, which isn't pitch black all the time. You often get this beautiful, long twilight, the blue hour. And because there's hardly any light pollution, your chances of seeing spectacular northern lights are fantastic.
It's hard to wrap your head around, isn't it? That constant daylight or the long twilight. So, okay, let's paint the picture for you listening. You're on a cliff, maybe near Hillesey or Unflia. The sky just explodes with color. Oranges, purples, pinks, the light reflecting on the water, Hoja's silhouette against it all. It must feel profound.
It really does. Very peaceful, very powerful moments. Great for just soaking it in or for photography, of course. And keep an eye out. You might spot those sea eagles again, or maybe even whales further out at sea during those quiet twilight hours. Some tours, like Arctic Glow's Fjord Tour, actually plan stops specifically for sunset or twilight viewing, and the guides share local stories and insights. Just a practical tip. Even in summer, bring warm layers and maybe a thermos of something hot. That coastal air gets chilly. And maybe get there a bit early for a good spot, though it's rarely truly crowded.
Good tips. Okay, so we've painted this incredible picture. People are probably thinking, right, how do I get there? Where do I stay? Let's cover the practical stuff.
Getting there is pretty easy, actually. Most people drive from Tromsø. It's about an hour, maybe a bit more. You can take the scenic low road, that's the one past the ancient rock carvings, which are amazing in themselves, or the slightly faster high road along the fjords on Valea. Public buses run, but the schedule is limited, mostly mornings and afternoons, so check carefully. There's also something called the Arctic Route Bus in summer, which connects Tromsø, Sammaroy, and even goes down towards Lofoten, which is handy for longer trips. And for another adventure, you could hop on the ferry from nearby Brensholmen over to Senja Island. More stunning landscapes.
Okay, driving sounds like the most flexible option. And accommodation once you're there.
The Sammaroy Arctic Hotel is the main hub. Great sea views. They have that spa with the ice bathing if you're brave. Or, for a different vibe, you can rent cozy coastal cottages, or buer often. More independent, self-catering. Gives you that local feel. Camping is also really popular. There's some beautiful spots right near the beaches. And remember, Norway's Allemannsretten, the right to roam. It basically means you can pitch a tent pretty freely, as long as you're respectful, stay 150 meters from houses, and only for a night or two in one spot. Incredible freedom.
Right, the right to roam. Fantastic. And best time to go.
Depends what you're after, really. Summer, June to August, for the milder weather, midnight sun, festivals, that's peak season. Winter, December to February maybe, is prime time for Northern Lights hunters. Colder, darker, but magical in its own way. The key thing whenever you go is pack layers. Good waterproofs, warm hat, gloves, sturdy boots. The weather can change fast. Be prepared and you'll have an amazing time.
Okay, so summing it all up. Sammaroy, Norway. It's way more than just a pretty place, isn't it? It feels like this, I don't know, soul-stirring escape where nature and culture just weave together perfectly. Those beaches, the hikes that are actually doable with incredible views, the super fresh seafood, the festivals. It offers this real, authentic Nordic vibe. Maybe quieter, more genuine than some of the bigger names. Standing on those cliffs, watching the sky do its thing. It really gets under your skin, I think, makes you slow down.
Absolutely. It provides the context, the knowledge to really feel a place like that, doesn't it? Not just see it. Samurai has this magic, feels timeless, untouched. It's a powerful reminder of how beautiful that balance between nature and community can be. You leave with memories that stick.
So, thinking about everything we've talked about, what stands out to you listening? What part of Samurai captures your imagination? Have you been lucky enough to visit? Or maybe, after hearing this, is it shooting right up your travel list? Let us know. And hey, if you enjoy digging into places and topics like this, getting these kinds of insights, you know where to find more deep dives, just like this one, Mind Expansion Daily. Please do like this deep dive if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Mind Expansion Daily so you don't miss out. And tell us in the comments, do you agree with our take on Sammaroy? Did we miss anything? We genuinely love hearing your perspectives and chatting with you. Oh, and while you're commenting, let us know where you're listening from. We're always excited to see where our listeners are, trying to connect with learners all over the globe. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep with us.